Welcome back to the tutorial series on image processing with OpenCV and Python. In this tutorial, we'll be looking into three of the drawing functions, namely cv2.polylines, fillPoly, and fillConvexPoly. All these three functions are used to draw a polygon. Another function which we'll be seeing is cv2.putText, which is used to write text on our images. So looking into the first function, which is the cv2.polylines. The cv2.polylines takes in the following parameters. The first parameter is the image on which we are going to draw, and next we have to pass the points parameter. The points parameter is nothing but the coordinates of the vertices of the polygon, and it must be a numpy array, and its dimension should be vertices cross 1 cross 2. So for example, if I'm going to draw a diamond shaped figure inside this square, I'll be passing in these four coordinates respectively. The third parameter which we must pass into cv2.polylines is the isClosed parameter. It is a boolean parameter. It specifies whether the polygon is closed or not. True means the polygon is closed. False means the polygon is not closed. Not closed in the sense the first point and the last point will not be joined. Let me explain this clearly a little bit later. The fourth and fifth parameter are the color and the thickness. And when I call this function by passing in these following parameters, I'll be getting an output which is similar to this. This is the case when isClosed parameter is true. When isClosed parameter is false, I'll be getting an output which is similar to this. So this is about cv2.polylines function. The next function which we will be looking into is cv2.fillPoly. The first three parameters are derived from the previous function, which is cv2.polylines. Namely, the parameters are image, points, and the colors. And the rest and there are other three parameters which this fillPoly function will take. Namely, the line type, shift, and offset. Line type determines the line type of the boundary of the polygon. CV2 OpenCV has a set of line types already predefined. We have to use one among them. And the fifth parameter is shift. I don't know what this does exactly, but as per the documentation, this shift represents the number of fractional bits in the vertex coordinate. And the last parameter is the offset. Offset is the value by which all the points in the polygon will be shifted. For example, I have a vertex in the polygon at the origin, that is 0, 0, and I specify the offset to be 50, 50, and my vertex at 0, 0 will be moved to 50, 50, and all such points in the polygon will be moved to such place which is shifted by the offset. And when I call cv2.fillPoly by passing in these parameters, I'll be getting an output which is similar to this. The next function which we'll be looking into is the cv2.fillConvexPoly, and the cv2.fillConvexPoly produces the same output as cv2.fillPoly, but the difference is that we need not enclose the points parameter within square brackets, and it does not take offset parameter. And cv2.fillConvexPoly is faster than cv2.fillPoly, and both cv2.fillConvexPoly and fillPoly has some optional parameters which are line type, shift, and offset. So that's it about these three functions. Now let's look into the programming part of these three functions. So now let's start the function by importing OpenCV library, and let me import numpy library as np, and let me read in the image which I have saved in my computer. So the name of the image is logo.jpg, and let me get the height and width of the image which I have loaded using image.shape, and let me find half of the height and width as ch command cw, and let me specify as these values to be int. So I've did the initial setup, and let me specify the points to be a numpy array which will take in the points parameter, which is nothing but 0, 1 second, 0, ch. I'm going to draw a diamond as said before, and cw, h, and w comma ch and cw comma 0, and let me specify the d type to be np.int32, and this is the points which we are going to use. But remember that we should reshape it to the following dimension: -1 comma 1 comma 2. -1 specifies that the same shape, the first shape remains the same and the rest two are varied. So I've reshaped my image to number of vertices cross 1 cross 2, and let me call cv2.polylines function. Now polylines function, let me pass in the image, let me pass in the points, let me say the the third parameter is closed, let me say it to be true, and let me pass the color to be blue 255 comma 0 comma 0, and let the thickness be 10. So this is cv2.polylines. Let us view the image. cv2.imshow of image comma image, where image is the window name, and let me wait until I press a key, and let me destroy all the windows. So let me save it. uh, let us run this function now. Let's wait for the output. Okay, so here is the output, and you could see that we have draw a diamond shaped polygon in the image. Now let's draw a filled polygon in the same image. So let this parameter be same, and let me call cv2.fillPoly, and let me pass an image comma points comma color. Let me specify the color to be red now. Let me save it, and let me run it once again. So see over here, now we have draw a polygon which is not filled, which is represented by blue color, and the another polygon which we have draw is a filled polygon with red color. So now let's play with the offset parameter, and let me specify the offset to be say 50 comma 50, offset equal to 50 comma 0. Let's first see how this works. Let me save this, and let me run this once again. So see how offset has shifted our polygon. So this is how offset plays a part. And now let's look into cv2.fillConvexPoly. So fill convex poly, and it does not take offset. So let me save this again, and let me run this again. Okay. Oh, so in fill convex poly, we shouldn't enclose the points within a square bracket. So let me save this again, and let me run this again. So this is how cv2.fillConvexPoly works, and this is all about cv2.polylines function. Now let's look into cv2.putText function. Now let's look into the parameters of cv2.putText. The first parameter is as usual the image, and the second parameter which we must pass is the text. The text is nothing but a string which we are going to write on the image. The third parameter which we are going to pass is the origin. Origin is nothing but the bottom left coordinate of the text which we are going to write. For example, if I am going to write techudur on my image, and my starting letter is T, and I have to pass in the bottom left coordinate of where the T should start. So that's what we have to mention in the origin parameter. And the next few parameters are font size, color, thickness, line type, bottom left origin. So font is the type of font which we are going to use, and OpenCV has some predefined fonts, and fifth is the font size which varies with font, sixth is color, thickness, line type, and bottom left origin is the parameter which is used to change the origin of the image to the bottom left. In general, all the OpenCV images will have the top left corner as the origin. Suppose you need the origin to be the bottom left origin for cv2.putText, you can pass in bottom left origin equal to true. So this is all about cv2.putText function. Now let's look into the programming part of cv2.putText. So I've already made the necessary inputs which I'm going to use in this function, and I've read the image, and let's do the coding part. Let me specify the text to be, say, techidude, and let me specify the origin to be, say, uh, the bottom left of the image. So what I can do is that I can pass in 0, and image dot shape of 0 will give me the height of the image, and 0 comma image dot shape of 0 will give me the bottom left corner of the image. And now specify the origin parameter, and let me specify the font to be cv2 dot font, and I could specify it to be italic. So next I could specify the font size to be say 5, and the next parameter is the color. Let us say the color to be black initially, and let me say the thickness, okay, 1 second, sorry, and thickness to be say 10 pixels, and the next thing is the line type to be say cv2 dot line underscore a, or what you can do is, let me go with cv2 dot line a itself, and let me call the cv2 dot put text function by passing all these parameters. First is the image, second is the text, third thing is the origin, fourth thing is the font, fifth as font size and color, and thickness and line type. So I've paused in all these function. Let me show the image using cv2.imShow of image comma image, and let me wait until I press a key, and let me destroy all the windows. Let me save this, and let me run this piece of code now. Let's wait for the output. Okay, look at over here, we have this function, but since the font size is big, we don't cover the entire word now. So let's reduce the font size now. Let me specify the font size to be 2 now. Let me save this, and let me run this piece of code again. So look at over here, we have techidude printed at the bottom of the image, and the thickness is 2 as specified. So this is about cv2.putText. To add on to this function, I'm going to display the present date and time. Okay, first let's specify the present time using the date and time library and PyTZ library. So let me say randomly, let me take this 2 lines off. Let me say the key to be 0, and let me keep looping until key is not equal to q. If I press q, the function will exit, and first of all I will take a copy of the image. Image is equal to I is equal to image dot copy. Since cv2.putText writes on the original image, and we create a copy of the image and keep displaying it, and let me get the date and time now. So time equal to date time dot now, and let me specify the coordinates to be PyTZ of Asia cross Kolkata, and let me wait. Okay, then let me get the individual date, all such things from the time value, time parameter, and for that I'll be going to use text is equal to let me say open a curly brace bracket is 2, and is2 and is2 dot format of time dot hour comma time dot minute comma time dot second, and this is our text. And let's call cv2 dot, and let me specify the origin to be 50 comma 50 now, and let me call cv2.putText, and let me specify the image text origin comma font comma font size comma color, let it be black itself, and thickness the same as above, and line type as same as above. So let me display the image now. I'm displaying the image, and let me wait for key. Okay, then let me save this now, and let's run this piece of code. Let's wait for the output. Okay, then I've made a mistake. Save this, and let me run this again. Okay, I'm making some error over here. I've got the error now, and I must specify PyTZ dot time zone of Asia and Kolkata to specify the time zone in India. And let me run this code now. Save the code, and let me run this code now. Let's wait for the output. Okay, it's taking a little longer. Okay, something is wrong over here. Let me run this again. Let's wait for the output now. So okay, then I've made some other mistake over here. Okay, see over here, I have to specify I over here, and I have to specify I over here. Let me save this again, and let me run this again. See over here, the time is being displayed now, and this is one of the way in which you can display time in your image. And let me press Q now, and the function exits. So that's all about today's tutorial, and that's all for today's tutorial. If you like the tutorial, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and if you have any queries or any comments, just post in the comment box.